Today, I want to find out, is this Duesenberg Starplayer Bass the Rolls Royce of short scale basses? I'll see you inside the video. Hey, it's James here from ebassguitar.com. We help bass players start playing at 50 and beyond. And one of the things I've noticed over the past few years at ebassguitar.com is we are seeing more and more players moving towards short scale basses. They're easier on the hands, lighter, and I'm discovering they just make playing more enjoyable for many, many players. However, this bass caught my attention for a whole other reason. So let's rewind back to June 2025, and I was watching Glastonbury, and Rod Stewart's bass player, Kurt Schneider, was playing a semi-acoustic or semi-hollow bodied bass, which sounded incredible in the mix. And I thought, what on earth is that instrument? So I went on a mission to find it. After a bit of digging around, I discovered it was a Duesenberg Starplayer Bass. The next thing I did was Google who the UK importers were so I could find out more about the instrument. Turns out they were 15 minutes away from where I lived. I emailed them, they got back to me the next day, and the email said, James, I think we know each other. Turns out it's a distribution company for Howard, who owns our local music shop, who had just finished doing some work on my dad's 70s P bass. I've now had this bass a few weeks and I've had so many people ask me about what bass I'm using in the most recent YouTube videos. I thought it was time to review it and show you what it's all about. Just before we get going, I put together a completely free beginner bass gear guide. You can download a copy and discover all of the most important information you need to know about beginner bass gear by clicking the link which is in the description below. So this Duesenberg Starplayer Bass is handmade in Germany. It's short scale, it's semi-hollow body, and it's got two bass bucker pickups on. It costs around about $2,950 or £2,229 in the UK. Yes, the name Duesenberg is shared by both the guitar company and a historic American car manufacturer, but they're not directly related. The original Duesenberg Automobile and Motors Company was founded by German-American brothers August and Fred Duesenberg and built American luxury cars from 1913 to 1937. They were the very definition of elegance and great engineering. Duesenberg Guitars, however, is a German company founded in 1986 by Dieter Goldsdorf. They took the name as a homage to those vintage cars, aiming to create the same sense of style, craftsmanship and timeless quality. And you can see that in the Art Deco inspiration everywhere on their instruments. You'll see Duesenberg guitars with players like Ronnie Wood, Chris Cornell, John Mayer, Joe Walsh, Mike Campbell and Bob Dylan's band. These are artists who could play any instruments but choose to play this particular brand. So right now I'm going to review the bass, and at the end of this video I've got a very special request for Duesenberg and I'm wondering if they can help me out. Let's crack on with the review. So I want to start the review in a slightly unusual place. I want to talk about the case. The case is absolutely beautiful. It's really strong and rugged, but it's designed like a vintage suitcase. It's the kind of thing which will add value to the instrument over time. Think about those 1960s Fenders which have the original case. It's all part of the cachet and all part of the complete experience. And this case for me is definitely part of the Duesenberg experience. Next up, I want to show you the accessories which come inside the case, because this has Apple style precision where every detail is considered, and opening the box is just as important as using the product. So let's dig in. First of all, there's this envelope, and inside the envelope, first of all, is a with best regards card from Hanover in Germany, which is really great. Then we have the instruction manual here. Now, I love this. It has all of the warranty information, it has all of the information about the guitar, and it comes with a Duesenberg pick attached there. Next up is a little wallet or envelope full of all the Allen keys or hex keys that you could ever need for the instrument. And then finally, this last one, which I absolutely love, and I've never seen anything like this come with a guitar before. These are Duesenberg plasters, just in case you play until your fingers bleed. What a nice touch. There's then a Duesenberg cleaning cloth, and then the final one is this beautiful Duesenberg 7-in-1 tool. So you can work on the instrument on the mood. It comes with a bottle opener, 8mm wrench, 10mm wrench, a ruler, action and setup guide, screwdriver and keyring. A great little addition so you're never caught short in your case. Just before we dig deep into the instrument, there's one more accessory that I want to show you. And this is a very clever piece of design to a common problem that I've had. I want you to have a look at the strap buttons here. Now, on the surface of things, these look like good quality strap buttons, and you can fit any generic strap on there. But what you can do with these is you can undo and take off the button like so. And that is then the perfect size, and I'm sure this is absolutely no accident, to fit shallow strap locks on here. Like so. That gives you the best of both worlds. You'll know that you can't put a regular strap on shallow strap locks because they'll just fall off. Now this is a great solution in case you forget your strap. Now let's talk about the construction of the instrument. The Starplayer Bass uses a semi-hollow design. And what that means in practice is there's a solid block down the middle of the bass which gives sustain and is great for feedback control. And then there are hollow wings on the top and the bottom here, which let the body resonate and give more of an acoustic sound. In terms of wood, the top is made from arched spruce, the sides are made from flamed maple, and the neck is made from hard rock maple with an Indian rosewood board. I'm certain these wood choices aren't random because the spruce is going to give you a lively top end, the maple's going to add some snap to the sound, and the rosewood will keep it smooth and warm. It's these little details which make all the difference with wood choice. So guys, I just want to take a really quick commercial break. You'll see behind me, there are 6 books up on the wall there. Those are 6 of the 7 books I've written on how to play the bass guitar. They're designed specifically for beginner, intermediate bass players who want to take their bass playing to that advanced level. I would love you to check them out. And we have them in our bookstore at ebassguitar.com/books. And to sweeten the deal, I'd love to give you a coupon code YT10 so you can grab 10% off. Next, I want to talk about the hardware because this is really interesting. It's made largely from nickel and it uses Duesenberg's 3-step geometry all over the place. And you'll see it across the whole instrument. Most notably, you can see it on the headstock there, 1, 2, 3. But you can also see this geometry on the knobs. You can see it on the jack socket. You can see it on this little pick guard here. And you can also see it on the logo there. It's this attention to detail which really makes all the difference. Now we have 2 Duesenberg bass bucker humbucking pickups, which will give you clear, punchy, articulate tone. The controls here are like a Fender Jazz. There are 2 volume controls, 1 for each pickup, and a master tone control. But there is one more knob, which is unique, or dial, which is unique to this instrument, and that is a switch on the scratch plate. And the great thing about that switch is it will kill the sound, turn it off, which means you can leave the blend of the pickups alone. So it's great for the studio and the stage to make sure you've got a consistent tone. Now let's talk about the feel of this instrument. Now the most notable thing here is this is a short scale bass. It is just over 30 inches from the nut to the bridge, which means all the frets are a little bit smaller and feel a bit closer together and is potentially a little bit easier on the hand. Now, one thing which is normally a non-negotiable for me is having the horn over the 12th fret, so the instrument balances really well for me. If I find the horn over the 14th fret, for instance, it can send the fingerboard out that way, which is uncomfortable and puts lots of tension down my arm. But on this instrument, it's over the 17th fret. But it all works brilliantly because the fretboard is that little bit shorter. So this has been thought out really well. It's perfectly balanced, there's no neck dive. We have these smaller tuning pegs up here, which I really like on the headstock as well. Also, let's talk weight at this point. There's no data, particularly on the internet, about the weight of each bass, but typically they come in between about the 8 and the 8.5 pound mark. The reality is that is a very, very good weight for a bass. It's easy on the shoulders, and I guarantee you won't find this a heavy instrument, and you can do long gigs on it without getting tired. Guys, we're about halfway through the video now, and if you're enjoying it and this is the first time you're watching the eBass Guitar YouTube channel, or you're not subscribed to the channel, please can you hit the red subscribe button, because what this means for us is we can keep growing the eBass Guitar YouTube channel and keep putting out great free bass educational content. And what this means for you is you'll be the first to know when a new video goes live, and we release a new video just like this one every single week. So please hit the red subscribe button. Now let's talk about the feel of this instrument. As I said earlier, short scale basses have really started taking off again. They're easy on the hands, there's less reach, and it just makes so much sense for older players who want a more comfortable experience. But here's the thing for me. Because of the smaller nature of the instrument, it's a little bit more guitar-like. And I find musically it changes how I phrase things, and also I end up exploring new ideas. So short scale instruments aren't only more comfortable, I find them actually more creative at the same time. The instrument invites you to play differently, and for me that's all part of the point. Now there's so much more I could talk about on this bass, but the thing is, I know you want to hear what it sounds like. So what is the fundamental difference between a solid body instrument and this semi-hollow bodied instrument? The fundamental thing is, for me, it has more of an acoustic tone to it. There is more of a piano-like, bell-like quality to the note. So let me play you a bass note with some long notes in it so you can hear it in action in isolation. Now what you're going to discover is this bass just isn't a one-trick pony. Because of these two really powerful pickups, there are so many tonal combinations. Right now, I'm going to take you through 5 different tones that you can get out of this instrument, and this will give you a good idea of what it's really capable of. For all of the tone tests, we're going to start off with the bass soloed, then we're going to fade in the backing track so you can hear it within the context of a band and hear what it sounds like in the mix. For tone test number 1, I'm going to start off with both pickups up full and the tone control up full using fingerstyle. This is what it sounds like. For our next tone test, I'm going to move on to the neck pickup now and solo that. I'm also going to play closer over the pickup too and the neck. Now this is typically more of the sound that you would possibly expect from a semi-hollow bodied bass. It's warm and it's round and has a more upright sound to it. So check this out. test number 3, I'm going to show you how versatile this instrument is. And we're going to roll onto the bridge pickup, and you're going to discover some really tight, really focused mid-range. Here goes. This is what it sounds like. For tone test number 4, we're going to channel our inner Paul McCartney, and we're going to play muted pick technique. Now, this bass currently has round wound strings on, but I think this example would sound even cooler on flat wound strings. Let's check it out, see what you think of the muted pick technique. For tone test number 5, we're going to move to thumb technique. We're going to roll the tone off and we're going to go for an old school walking bass feel. Check this out. It's an interesting vibe. So what do I think of this bass? This bass is completely different to anything I've owned or I've played before. It has its own voice, it has its own feel and its own vibe. And playing it for the past few weeks has honestly made me fall in love with the instruments. It's giving me different tonal options, it's giving me different ideas, it's inspiring me differently. And for me, this is what owning instruments is all about. It's a rare instrument that starts to make me really think differently about music. And the Duesenberg Starplayer Bass does exactly that. So is this the Rolls Royce of short scale basses? For me, absolutely. This instrument is refined, it's inspiring, and it's built with care and precision from the top to the bottom. Opening the case really does give you that Apple style experience of a really top quality, thought through product. Every choice from the woods to the hardware, the balance, it feels deliberate, it feels thought out. It's not just luxury for the sake of it. It's an instrument that's built that makes you want to play it, pick it up and take it out of the case. Now, in the interest of balance, are there any negatives? The first is price point. Obviously, these are high-end, expensive basses. So they are out of reach for some people, and that's completely understandable. However, if you want to invest in a real top quality precision instrument, it does cost money, and this instrument is that. For me, it actually does feel like really great value once you get inside it and understand what's really going on. And the second negative is Duesenberg only make this in 2 colors. The black and the orange. However, the guitars they make in a sparkly color. And Ray, the guitarist from the Celine Dion Experience, which I work with, has it in the sparkly black color. and he is very, very proud of his sparkly guitar, and he's always constantly outdoing me with his sparkles. So I'd love to put it out there, Duesenberg. If you can make a sparkly bass, I would absolutely gladly have it. Only so I can outdo Ray with my sparkly bass. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the Duesenberg review and exploring a short scale, semi-hollow bodied instrument. It really is a unique animal. If you want any more help with your bass playing, I encourage you, head over to ebassguitar.com. Check out the Bass Lab Plus. That's my private members training program, designed especially for bass players who are starting at 50 and beyond. I would love you to check it out, and so I'm going to give you a completely free test drive for 14 days. I've put a link in the description below where you can check out what it's all about. Cheers, I've been James from ebassguitar.com. I'll catch you next week.